In Victorian Britain, poverty was a crime. The workhouse system, meant to provide shelter, turned into a prison of despair. Families were torn apart, forced to live in squalor, with harsh rules and relentless labor. Instead of compassion, there was punishment. The promise of help became a nightmare, where the desperate were treated like criminals, stripped of dignity. This was survival, but at what cost? I remember the day my family was torn apart at the gates of the workhouse. The air was thick with despair as we stood in line, each of us clutching our meager belongings. The cries of children echoed around me, a haunting reminder of the innocence lost. Families were separated, mothers and fathers sent one way, children another. It felt like a cruel game, where love was the first casualty. Life inside the workhouse was a relentless grind. Days blurred into one another, marked only by the sound of the bell signaling meals, if you could call them that. A thin gruel, barely enough to stave off hunger, was all we had. We rose before dawn, our bodies weary from the hard labor that awaited us. The work was grueling, often backbreaking, yet we were expected to push through, to endure, as if our suffering was a badge of honor. The stigma of being a workhouse inmate was suffocating. We were labeled as the undeserving poor, a burden on society. People looked at us with disdain, as if our circumstances were a choice. But the truth is, we were victims of a system that offered no mercy. Each day, we wore our shame like a shroud, trying to hold on to a flicker of hope in a place designed to strip us of our dignity. Yet, amidst the bleakness, there were moments of resilience. We shared whispered stories of better days, of dreams that once felt within reach. We formed bonds with fellow inmates, finding solace in shared suffering. In those fleeting moments of connection, we reminded each other that we were more than just our circumstances. We were human, deserving of compassion and understanding. Even in the darkest of places, the workhouse was a harsh reality, a testament to the struggles of the Victorian era. It stripped away our identities, but it could never extinguish the spirit that burned within us. We endured, we survived, and in our hearts, we held on to the belief that one day, we would reclaim our lives and our families. Workhouses in Britain were a grim reality, a place where the poor were punished for their poverty. Imagine being forced into a cold, harsh environment, stripped of dignity, just because you had fallen on hard times. These institutions were designed to deter the needy from seeking help, treating them as less than human. Families were torn apart, children separated from parents, all in the name of charity. Even though workhouses were abolished in the 20th century, their legacy lingers, reminding us of a time when society turned its back on the vulnerable. Today, we must reflect on this dark chapter and ensure history doesn't repeat itself.